The Truth Will Set You Free, Episode 31, The Edenic Voice, the Breath of Living Truth. Introduction. The Voice that Shapes Reality. In Eden, the voice was not simply speech. It was breath made sacred, sound woven with intention, resonance carrying creation into form. The Edenic voice was never used to dominate or manipulate. It was song, decree, and blessing. It aligned all with the living pulse of Source. To remember the Edenic voice is to remember that words are more than communication. They are vibration. They are tuning forks of truth. They shape worlds, heal wounds, and carry codes of remembrance. Every breath, every syllable is a thread in the cosmic loom. In this episode, we enter the Edenic voice, the breath of living truth. We reclaim our words as instruments of resonance, no longer weaponized, but restored to their divine purpose, harmony. Segment 1, The Distortion, when voice became weapon. The distortion of voice is one of the most ancient wounds. In Eden, voice was resonance, but through the fall, it became fragmented, turned into sound without soul, noise without harmony. The sacred gift of breath became a weapon of persuasion, manipulation, and harm. Instead of weaving wholeness, words began to sever. Instead of blessing, curses. Instead of harmony, control. This distortion is not just historical. It echoes in our daily lives, in the way arguments drain energy, in the media that distorts truth, in the fear that silences authenticity. It is present whenever words are used to dominate rather than liberate, whenever silence is used to suppress rather than sanctify. Each misuse of the voice is a shadow of the original distortion. To heal, we must remember that the Edenic voice was never about volume or victory. It was about resonance. Resonance is not won through force, but through alignment. When voice returns to its sacred origin, it becomes song again, a vibration that heals, a tone that restores order, a breath that carries remembrance into the world. Practice. Place your hands gently on your throat and breathe. Feel where your voice has been silenced, strained, or distorted. Speak softly. I free my voice from distortion. I return to resonance. Segment 2. The breath as instrument of creation. Breath is the most intimate bridge between the unseen and the seen. In Eden, every inhale was the drawing in of divine essence, every exhale the gift of creation back into the field. The breath did not simply oxygenate, it sanctified. It carried light codes. It awakened remembrance. It turned silence into sound and sound into form. It carried light codes. It awakened remembrance. It turned silence into sound and sound into form. Breath was understood as the first act of creation, the invisible thread weaving spirit into matter. To restore the Edenic voice, we must restore this reverence for breath. No longer shallow or rushed, breath must once again become prayer. Each inhale is communion with Source. Each exhale is a decree offered back to the world. The rhythm of breath mirrors the cosmic tides, expansion and contraction, ebb and flow, life arising and returning again. When you breathe with awareness, inhale becomes reception of divine inspiration. Exhale becomes transmission of truth and resonance. Stillness between breaths becomes the fertile void of creation. Attunement. Sit quietly. Place one hand on your chest and another on your womb or belly. Inhale slowly, drawing in golden light. Pause and let the silence and feel the silence as presence. Exhale gently, releasing a soft tone, a hum, a vowel, or even a whispered word of truth. Let it vibrate through your body, awakening the Edenic voice within. This is breath remembered as creation, the spirit moving through flesh. Segment 3. The voice as resonant decree. To decree is not simply to speak. It is to align with the living will of Source and let sound carry that alignment into the fabric of reality. In Eden, words did not arise from the mind, but from the heart resonating with the whole. Every decree was like a stone dropped into a still lake, sending ripples of harmony across timelines and dimensions. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was careless. Every utterance was sacred. The Edenic voice reminds us that the power of our words lies not in persuasion, but in resonance. When our tone carries truth, it moves more deeply than logic ever could. The decree is not performance, it is embodiment. It is the vibration of knowing spoken into the world. When you speak in Edenic voice, your words align with the frequency of Source, carrying clarity beyond argument. Your tone heals as much as the content, transmitting energy that restructures reality. Your decrees shape timelines in harmony with divine will, weaving your sound into the greater symphony of creation. Practice. Speak aloud a truth you know in your bones. Say it 3 times, not with force, but with depth. Feel how it resonates through your body, into the air, into the unseen. Let your decree ripple outward as a tuning fork, remembering that every word carries the authority of the Edenic voice when it is spoken in alignment. Segment 4. The Cosmic Choir. Voice of Gaia, Voice of Stars. The Edenic voice expands beyond the personal throat into the living field of earth and cosmos. Gaia herself speaks in rivers, winds, and stone. The stars pulse with hymns, their light encoded with harmonic sound. Every creature, every current of energy participates in the symphony, the cosmic choir. To remember your Edenic voice is to remember that you are not a soloist, but an instrument woven into this vast orchestration. When you open to this truth, your voice is no longer small or isolated. It becomes a tuning fork for planetary resonance, aligning with Gaia's grid lines and celestial rhythms. Your whispers awaken memory in the waters. Your chants ripple through the air. Your words travel further than ears can hear, joining the songs of whales, winds, and galaxies. In this choir, your authenticity matters because the harmony is incomplete without your note. To join the cosmic choir is to surrender to resonance that is larger than the self, to allow your voice to braid with the voices of earth and stars, singing remembrance into existence once more. Walking practice. As you walk in nature, let your breath become song. Hum softly, chant, or speak blessing into the air. Let your voice join the choir already singing around you. When I walk in the morning, I routinely tone. I'll do ohms and ahs and do the vowels out as tone, singing to the nature that's all around me. Optional right. At dawn or dusk, face the horizon. Speak a blessing aloud for the earth, the waters, the stars. Know that your words travel beyond what you see, weaving with the cosmic voice. Closing segment. I am the breath of living truth. Repeat after me, out loud or inwardly if you're shy. I do not argue. I do not persuade. I do not wound. I breathe. I sound. I resonate. Through me, truth is spoken. Through me, harmony is restored. I am the Edenic Voice reborn. I am the breath of living truth. My words are resonance. My silence is sacred. My voice is creation remembered. I am the living flute through which spirit plays. I am the temple of breath where source moves unhindered. My tones are not only mine, they are the echoes of Gaia's rivers, the songs of the stars, the whispers of eternity. When I speak, worlds are realigned. When I sing, memory awakens. When I fall silent, the cosmos leans in to listen. I am the Edenic Voice restored. I am the breath of living truth, eternal and whole. And so it is. Preview for the next episode, the Edenic mind, the mirror of divine thought. The next transmission will carry us into the Edenic mind, the luminous mirror where divine thought reflects itself into form without distortion. In Eden, the mind was not master, but servant of spirit, a crystalline lake of perception that revealed rather than twisted, reflected rather than controlled. We will remember the mind as vessel, as mirror, as sacred instrument of divine clarity. Let us reclaim the Edenic mind as mirror of divine thought and restore the purity of perception itself.